I'm Coop, this is my modified SledgeFire. I'll go over the internals, the paint job, and show you firing. So, like to state up front, I did not actually modify this internally. I took it apart, looked at the potential for modifications, and decided not to modify it at all. The most basic modification you can do to most Nerf guns is taking out the air restrictor. However, in this blaster, if you take out the air restrictor and you decide to load a shell with only one dart, you actually won't be able to fire it very well because the air is going to take the path of least resistance and leave your empty barrels. So I opted to leave the air restrictors in order to fire the shells out if I only have one or two darts loaded, or if one's loaded very poorly. Honestly, taking out an air restrictor is a little overrated. It might give you 5 feet max, and with these new elite guns, that's actually not very much. Back in the day when a Maverick would shoot 20 feet stock and 25 feet without the air restrictor, that was actually worthwhile, but when it shoots 60 feet stock or 50 to 60 feet stock and you get like 3 or 4 extra feet, it's really not a big deal. And this blaster is a whole lot of fun to run around with just dry fire, and if you don't remove the air restrictors, that doesn't hurt anything. Of course, people are going to disagree with that or have different opinions, but that's my opinion on the matter. I did lube a few things internally, but not enough to actually change the overall performance of it. This blaster operates pretty smooth in stock form, so no complaints there. Going over the paint job, I really like this paint job, and I think I'll be continuing this on some personal blasters. But it started with a black vinyl dye primer, as always, and then I ended up with a gray automotive paint here. This is Dark Shadow Gray. This is like the third can of this stuff I've gone through. I absolutely love this color. And the blue you see is Citadel Temple Guard Blue. Very happy with this color. It is a little bit brighter than some other blues, but I definitely like the contrast on the gray. And the purple, if you can see it, you might have to actually look for it, is Gene Stealer Purple, also by Citadel. Then I have rather heavy silver dry brushing, that is Krylon Shortcuts Chrome, as I always use with silver dry brushing, and finished it up with a matte clear coat by Rust-Oleum, as always. I left the internals unpainted to remain perfect function. Painting shells it looks pretty cool in pictures, but once you actually start to use it and it scratches, it looks pretty gross. And painting inside barrels is pretty gross because then it affects your dart fit, and then painting the outside of any tube in general is very difficult, and it just gets very yucky very fast. So I would not recommend it, especially with a shell when you're jamming it inside of something. Giggity. I know some people really don't understand why I don't paint the internals because they think it looks bad. I really like the orange though, so I definitely think it looks cool. And if you're going to paint something with blue and purple, I don't think the bright colors of orange is going to be really a negative feature on it. Show you the blaster firing. Again, I didn't modify it internally, so it's shooting exactly the same as it is stock, still super smooth. I really like this blaster in stock form. Very happy with the paint job. I really like this, and I will be applying this to future blasters. I just really like how these colors interact. I've done this in the past. We'll continue to do it every once in a while in the future. So that's the SledgeFire. Thanks for watching. Grip is very comfortable. I'm a very big person and I have no complaints. It's very smooth, ergonomic, and very large, adult-friendly and kid-friendly. The drum is not removable, and I'll go over loading that in a second.